the gift. And he says, have you ever searched for purpose in your life? Have you ever thought you needed to live your life for someone or something else? That happens. Through Mike's speech, we're going to travel with him as he examines at least life, his life, and its purpose. What is that? Help me welcome Mike Thompson.
Have you ever given someone a gift only to have them not use that gift? How did that make you feel? Were you hurt? Perhaps you felt that you didn't choose the right gift, or that the recipient was ungrateful, or even that the recipient didn't like or respect you. When I was a child growing up, most children do, when someone would give us, my sister and I, a piece of clothing or new shoes or something, Mom would always carefully package it up, stow it away in her secret place until the item it was meant to replace was fully worn out. I'm still growing up. I'm still searching for what I want to become when I grow up. And I've been talking to a lot of folks. Some people are members of this club, and people, you've been asking me some tough and good questions like, when you're on your deathbed, what do you want to be remembered for having accomplished in your life? Or how do you want to change the world for the better? Those are tough, important questions. Many people are never asked those questions, let alone attempt to answer them. But I have a more fundamental, at least for me, a more fundamental question. Are you using the gift? The gift of life. You see, whatever your belief, whether you believe in a God or gods or the Great Spirit or simply fate, you have been given a priceless gift of life. Are you using that gift? You know, a couple days ago, John Barnes, who's a member of this club, sent out an email about a book he's putting together about passion. And I realized that I've been gifted as part of my life a passion for high and rocky places and a little bit of physical ability to enjoy those places. This is one of the backpacks I use when exploring those places. And this is a piece of gear I use when rock climbing. See, if you're climbing up a rock face, you find a crack in the rock and you place that in. And the harder you pull, the more secure it becomes in the rock. You clip your rope to this carabiner. Should you fall, you won't fall far. These come in all different sizes for different sizes, cracks in the rock. This is, in a way, a gift. When my wife and I first met, we pooled together our meager, at the time, caches of adventure gear, and this was one of the pieces she contributed. I remember a time when this was used. It was September 20th, 2001. I don't know if this looks familiar to anyone. This is McGregor's Slab, a chunk of rock probably about 700 to 800 feet high that sits above the Fall River Road entrance to Rocky Mountain National Park. The visitor center is over here. You would be in the parking lot of the visitor center looking up at this.
There's a life gift. That's right.
Talk about a gift it's receiving right now. Well, there used to be a private campground down here, and her and I were camped there. On that morning, the 20th of September, we got up early hour of at least 9 a.m. Crawled out of the tent, made a big French press full of coffee, and we looked up at that rock. I wonder if anyone's ever climbed that. Well, we got out the guidebook. Sure enough, on page 267, it was documented. And we decided, after we had hurried through a 2-hour breakfast, that we were going to head up to climb the greater slab. Well, I'm sure we must have gotten to the base by at least 1 in the afternoon and started climbing. About the time we got to that, there's a little post-it and a little yellow arrow on there. The sun was setting behind our back. And we spent the night on the greater slab on a little ledge about 2 feet wide. And we survived, obviously. But we got down the next day and packed up camp and went to a hotel room. You know, in some ways, adventures such as those are very selfish. I didn't even improve my skills as a professional in any way like I do at Toastmasters. I didn't feed any hungry children like Pete does through Rotary. I certainly didn't promote world peace at all. But I think I used the gift that day. You know, we intended to spend most of the day on the rock. We never intended to spend all night. I think that my God would be happy that I used the gift. Probably got a chuckle out of it too. So there's a quote from Hunter Thompson. Some of you may have heard of this. Life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty and well-preserved body, but rather a skid-in broadside in a cloud of smoke, thoroughly used up and totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, "Wow, what a ride." And that's my challenge to you, is use your gift.